Hi friends, I hope you are doing well. Today I came across with another set of interview questions which were asked in Virtusa second round. So I'm going through the one by one. So before going proceeding, I'm requesting you please like and subscribe my channel and share my videos, whatever I have created, and give your valuable comment if required, so I can improve my video creation. So first question they have asked in second round, which platform have you worked and what are the transformation you have applied? So simply I told I have worked with the Pyspark, SQL, Python and Databricks and Amazon S3. So now transformation whatever I have applied, I have informed that filter, filtering, filter where column operations like with column rename and dropped aggregation I have performed group by ag and pivot and aggregation function sum average count and explode and flattening. Sometimes we are getting data in single column, so through the explode I have exploded giving the multiple row for particular data. So explode outer and flatten. Then join operation, this is the common transformation I have used. Left right join, full left empty, left semi, and Windows function rank, row number, dense rank, lead lag, and data cleaning, drop na, fill na, and replace on there. These are the transformation majorly I have performed in my project. So another question they have asked, have you going to load how are you going to load partition data into the Amazon S3 bucket using PySpark or writing data into the S3? So first I simply inform that we can load partition data into the S3 bucket using data frame write API with the partition by creation action. So the this allow you to write data partitioned by one or more column, making it easier to organize and query data in S3. For this activity, you have to ensure necessary permission you have or not, like AWS access, AWS credential, configuration, configuration AWS credential either through environment variable or AWS credential file or via IAM role if running on AWS services like EMR and EC2. For example, suppose I have created this Spark session. Then in Spark session, I am giving app name and giving the configuration whatever required authentication other things here in config, and after that is you see that these are the config I have provided, and then create a Spark session on there. So now now preparing data like this is the data 12410 product means ID, year, month, and product name. Product, what is the product? So this way I have created a data frame, and this is the S3 path. Imagine S3 path means what is your bucket name, what name you are going to give the bucket name, so you have to give this one. After that write the data frame to S3 with partition. So simple df dot write dot mode or write dot partition by year and month dot parquet, and you have to give the particular path. So this way I have handle the questions. I answer the questions. So another question he asked is third question. What is the reason why you are going to load data into S3 instead of local or any other bliss client? So simple things I have answered. Not go on deeply, but simple thing. It is cost efficient storage, data lake creation, if we can create a data lake on top of that particular storage, compatible with analytical tools, high availability and durability, partitioning for efficient data processing, data backup and disaster recovery, compliance and security purpose. These are the reason why I have used S3 instead of local storage. So another question he asked, could you please explain, means fourth question, could you please explain what happened when submit a Spark application and how will it handle the job in background? So I'm simply telling you, I have explained this scenario in day 29 video, where in first round. So you can go through that video and you will get the understanding how I have done the things, how I explain how it is going to work after submission of application in Spark. Another question he asked, in your project, how are you scheduling your job, Spark job, and where exactly your Spark job is running? So in my project, whatever I have worked, this is last. So on there, we have a airflow. So we are writing the airflow diagram, and we are calling the job name and data source name. So through that data source name, it will move search in a database and will get the detail, and it will trigger the job and through the database, and then my jobs is running and will complete on there. So this way I have this the activity. Now I'm moving to the another question. What are optimization technique you have used in Spark? So I simply tell, there are few optimization technique I have used, few of technique which is given below. First is partitioning, second is bucketing, third is broadcasting. Broadcasting means broadcast variable and broadcast join. Fourth is use cache and persist with a different storage level, and then join optimization, then reduce the data shuffling, then another using optimized file format, use reduce by key over group by key, using dynamic resource allocation, using repartition and collage, using structured apis like data frame dataset, which give some basic optimization like catalyst optimizer, instead of using rdd, which do not provide some basic optimization like catalyst. So another using balanced approach instead of thin and fat executor initialization, avoid data skewness, and using salting technique. So use checkpoint, using checkpoint. So these are the technique which I have used in my last project and current project right now. What is the dynamic partition purine? What is the dynamic partition purine? He asked another question. So dynamic partition purine is primarily on optimization that rely on the runtime information to skip unnecessary partition during query execution. So the primary way to utilize dynamic partition purine to enable it through configuration setting in your Spark application. So I will let you know in another setup. So another he question asked, in which version of Spark it is available, or do we have to enable it, or it is by default enable? So simply to it introduced in Spark version 3, and Databricks dynamic partition purine is generally available by default in Databricks, as a Databricks is based on this Apache Spark and often include enhancement and optimization. So how to check if it is enabled or not? So simply we can write one print statement, and will under print statement I will use spark.config.get and spark.sql.optimizer dot dynamic partition purine dot enable. So through that we will get the if it is enable or not. So after that I will there is few technique how to enable and disable dynamic partition purine. So use the setting like spark.sql.optimization optimizer dot dynamic partition purine dot enable default true, set explicitly if needed. So simply spark.config.set, and we will call the above like spark.sql.optimizer dynamic partition purine dot enable as a true means enable. If I will give the false, it means disable. So enable and disable for broadcasting join. Spark also offer a specific setting to apply dynamic partition purine in broadcast join, where the smaller table is broadcast to each executor. So we can do this way. Use the setting like the dynamic partition use states. Then default you have to give the true. Sorry. Third, control for non-broadcasting join. For larger table that cannot be broadcast, dynamic partition purine can also be enabled, but it may be less efficient. You can control it using by this spark dot of sql dot optimizer dot dynamic partition purine dot fallback filter ratio to set a threshold for purine efficiency based on the table size. Now Another question he asked, which Spark version you are using? So right now I'm using in my project 3.4.1 Spark version. Now, another question he has, what is the difference between Spark session and Spark context? Simply two words, simply two few lines I have given answer like Spark session. It is the main entry point to the huge Spark, especially for the modern application. It lets you work easily with table, data frame, and SQL and handle everything you need in one place. If you are using Spark 2 or later, you mainly just use Spark session. Spark context. What is Spark context? It is the engine behind the scenes. It connect with the application to set Spark cluster and manage resource. Spark session actually create and manage a Spark context for you, so you cannot usually need to interact with the Spark context directly unless you are doing low level operation with RDD on there. So another question he asked, how do you enable Hive in Spark? Do you want to get the data from Hive 3.4.1? So yeah, simply I tell this the way I will get. So to enable Hive in Spark and connect to the Hive 3.4.1 meta store, follow these steps. Means configure Spark with the Hive support. Spark must be configured to integrate with the Hive metastore. You can enable Hive support by setting up the necessary configuration is Spark session. So from Pyspark.sql.import Spark session means you have to give the create a Spark session and you have to give the necessary enable Hive support and necessary configuration like data warehouse directory name, metastore details, all the things you have to give here during the configuration of a Spark session. Once it will done, so what you can do, what is the enable Hive support? First, enable Hive support in Spark allow Spark to read Hive tables on there. Then you have given the spark.sql.catalog implementation. So what is this? Setting this to Hive allow Spark to use Hive as the catalog. Spark, then another is spark.sql.warehouse.directory is there. So you have given this directory on there. So this location for Spark Hive's warehouse directly where table are stored. Means another question, another things hive.metastore.uris. So this URI of your Hive meta service. This is the thrift URL. Typically thrift with this in this one. So another thing, ensure Hive jars are available. Whatever jars necessary jars required, you have to install in Databricks environment or your local where you are going to call this application. Verify the connection. After that, once it's done, then you have to verify the connection. Then this way, how it's spark.sql.show database.show. So you will get the list of the database. If you want to get the list of the tables in my database, you will run this below query. Now I'm going to the another question. What is the get or create when you are building the Spark session? So simple question, simple thing. If a Spark session has already been created in the current in environment, get or create will return the existing session instead of creating a new one. This useful for avoiding redundant session and ensure you are working within a single Spark session context. Why do suppose I am logging the Databricks? I don't know. I have created a new notebook. I'm not able to see the previous one notebook. I don't know whether Spark session is created or not. So while we are going to create a Spark session, we'll use a getter create. So it will check if it already exists, then it will give that details. If not, it will create a new one. So if there isn't any exist Spark session, getter create will initialize a new one with the configuration specified in the builder. This is helpful environment where you are not sure if a Spark session has already been initialized, such as in Jupyter Notebook or certain cluster environment. Okay, now I'm going to another question. What the question they have asked? What is broadcasting? So simple term I'm going to tell, not going to explain big term. So I will let you know if I'm going to create a new video on top of this, then you will get the better understanding on this. So broadcasting is an optimization technique used to efficiently distribute large read-only data across all nodes in a cluster. When you have a relatively small data set, that nodes to be used in operations across many worker nodes. So broadcasting allow you to send this data set to each worker node instead of sending it over the network repeatedly on there. So this is the broadcasting. So another question he asks, what is repartition and what is collage on there? So simply, if I'm going with the repartition first, then I will let you know, then we'll go for collage. Okay, so purpose. What is the purpose of repartition? Used to increase or decrease the number of partitions. Why? Shuffling. There are the repartition always perform a full shuffle of the data across the node, which evenly distribute the data across the specified number of partitions. Use case. Ideal when you want to increase the number of partition to distribute data more evenly across executor, especially after a narrow operation that may lead to skewed data. That may lead to skewed data. Purpose used uh, now I'm going to work with a uh, 1 minute. Work with the coalesce. What is the coalesce on there? So coalesce, what is the purpose of coalesce? Means used to decrease the number of partition, typically when reduce partition after an operation like filter that result in a fewer row. Shuffling. Coalesce minimize the amount of data shuffled, so it try to avoid a full shuffle by moving data into the fewer partition without redistribution it evenly. Only. So, best use case when reducing partition, particularly for optimization, such as preparing for output or when you know the data has already been partitioned and distributed evenly. Then we are going to use this collision there. Another question they have asked, in which file format you are storing the data? I simply told in my project we are using data in a Parquet file format. The other question he asked, why are you storing Parquet file format? What is the reason behind this? So I simply tell Parquet is a popular file format in Spark and big data application because it offers several advantage over storage and performance. First is columnar storage format. This is a columnar storage format. So means efficiency. Parquet store data in a columnar format means that it organizes data by column rather than by row rather than by row. I will show the in next CMD how it is going to work. But meanwhile, you can know the things here. This structure is efficiently for analytical queries as it only need to read the specific column required for the query instead of entire row. So it will reduce the input output. This significantly reduce the input output and speed of query that involves selecting or filtering a specific column on there. So data compression. So data compression means high compression ratio. Parquet support efficient compression like snipping, ggip and lgo. The columnar structure for of Parquet also allow each column to be compressed independently, which often result in a higher compression ratio, reducing storage cost on there. Then cost saving. Lower storage requirement translate directly into the lower cost, and especially when working with a cloud storage like Amazon S3 or Azure Block on there. Then another things, optimization for Spark and big data framework. When we are checking for this file format, this is optimized. So compatibility. Parquet is designed to work well with Hadoop, Spark, and other big data frameworks. So Spark Catalyst Optimizer can take advantage of Parquet and metadata, make data processing faster and more efficient on there. So another predicate push down. Predicate, what is the predicate push down? They will ask regarding Spark can push filter down to the storage layer, mean only the relevant row are loaded into the memory, which speed up the query processing Right. And schema evaluation. So it's flexible schema support. So Parquet support schema evaluation. So if your data structure change over time, Parquet can handle adding or modifying column without rewriting the entire data set on there. Another part, efficiently for analyticals, designed for aggregation. So since Parquet optimized for the heavy for read heavy operation like aggregation, join and filtering, it's ideal for data warehousing and business intelligence use cases on them. Then I'm moving to the another part. What is the difference between question they have asked? What is the difference between columnar and row based file format? So I will show the how it is going to work. So row based file format. If I'm talking about row based file format, suppose you have a data like this employee table, and you have a data like this. You have the, so if I'm working with a row based file format, so row based file format, how it is going to store? It is store row by row, means first row whatever row it is giving, then it will store second, then is third row. So if any new row will came, it will simply append data on there. So if I'm talking about writing in this row based file format, so what will happen? First, at a time, whole record is saved. If a new record came, it gets append at the end. So writing a new record is very easy because you simply append at the end. Now another part, reading. While writing is easy, reading, but in the order to get subset of column, it has to read entire record. That is perform is the great when it is come to read. So it is for this it row based file format. It is easy to write, but it is much difficult to read on there. So in data, so reading while writing to the easy, but in order to get subset of column, it has to read entire record. That is performance is degrade when it come to read. So when we are working with the row based file formats, so it is very easy to write, but difficult to read. It will give the performance issue while reading. In data warehouse, wherein we scan a specific set of record, row-based file format is not suggested on this. So I'm going to talk about regarding compression of the row-based file format. So since data is stored record by record, so different data types are present together next to each other. Different data types are present to next to each other. So that means compression is not efficient as it could be possible in this row-based file format on there. Now I'm going to talk about the column-based file format. So all column values are stored together column-based like this. So suppose I have a three rows, so it will row one, two, three, one column. This second is one column. This way it will right. So reading, I'm talking about the reading. It allow us to skip data and read only relevant column, whatever column required. Column-based file format is suggested for the data warehouse-based query system on there. So it is easy in here reading, but when we are talking about writing, it is time consuming as you need to write on multiple places. Means ID is here, you have to write, name is here, amount is here, department is here. So this way you are writing on there. So data compression of the column based file format, since data is stored column by column, so some data type are present together next to each other. So that means compression can be applied efficiently for each data type. So we can say that reading and compression of data is faster as compared to the row based file format on there. So summarize, I will what if you write once but read multiple times. So I am suggesting you go with the column based file format. If you read once and but write multiple times, so go for row based file format. My suggestion. Category is there. Read slower, read faster. Category. If I am going to read row based file formats, slower reads, and column based faster read. And write row based file format faster writes and column based slower writes. Comparison poor, comparison is row based is poor and column based good. And you know the row based file format are CSV, TSV and JSON and AVRO, and column based file format Parquet and ORC file format. So mainly interviewer ask regarding what is the difference between AVRO file and Parquet, and what is the difference between CSV and Parquet and Jason and Parker. So these are the question arise during that on question. So same question if I'm going with the CSP and Parquet. So I will let you know here. This question asked at time of interview question. So Parquet is optimal for large scale column oriented analytical workload, big data framework due to the storage efficiency and performance in reading selective columns. And CSV is better suited for simple data interchange, small to medium sized data set, and quickly data weaving. It's easy to read and edit but lack to advanced storage and performance benefit of Parquet. So this is the simple term I have given the answer here. So another question they have a practical question. Write a function for Fibonacci series. So I have given a solution in one way, but for you I have giving it two ways on the to how to do the things. So first is function iteration. Iteration means I have created one function. That function contain the a comma b, that is a 0 comma 1. I have created one list that contain the series, a name as a series. Then I have run the loop for loop in till n series. Then whatever is coming is I am appending one, and then I will what I have to do interchange of the a, whatever command is b, whatever value in b I am going to assign a, and b for b I am going to add one more a plus b. Then I am returning. Then you can see that n equal to 10. Then I am calling that function and sorry, and I'm printing this. This is giving the output for you. Another way, simple way, if I'm checking the I'm creating the function in this first function. In this function, I am checking if n is lesser equal to 1, then return n. Else, whatever function I have created, second function, I will let you know. Then I will go for that. In second function, I have created our list comparison. That means I will use the first function and I will run the range for I in range till 9th turn, whatever value I'm going to pass, and it will give the one by one value here and in series, and it is returning. Then I'm calling this series here in this here and giving one n minus 1 whatever value, and this way then it is going to work and it is going to give the output like this way. Okay. And another question he asked, have you worked on the Python UDF? Then I told, yes, I worked on the Python UDF. Then he asked, what is the another question? It is what is the pickling and unpickling in Python? So I simply told pickling and unpickling are process used for serializing and deserializing object respectively. So pickling basically used for the serialization. Means pickling is the process of the converting a Python object like list, dictionary, and custom object into the byte stream, which can then be used to a file or transfer over a network. Use case, this allow when we are going to use this allow you to save the state of the object and load it later even after the program has closed. So it is useful for saving machine learning model, caching data, and more. So how can I do? Simply I import the import pickle data, whatever. Suppose I have this is the dictionary data I have created. Then I'm going to apply the pickling on there. So with I will apply the pickling with open data.pickle.wb as a file, pickle.dump data file on there. This way I can. This is the basic example I have given here. And for unpickling is the reverse of the pickling. It is the process of loading a pickled byte stream back into a Python object on there. So use case, you can load the saved state of an object into the program. You can don't need to recreate or recompute it. So that's then we can do the things. So suppose like this is I'm going to import the pickle format. Then we use the data pickle.rb as file and load data pickle.load this, and this way I have done these things. Then other he asked what is the difference between list, tuple, dictionary and set. So simply I will let you know how can do. So list is means order mutable sequence of a element. This way I can define here. And another, this is the mutable means element can be changed, either we can add, either we can remove, either we can update the things. The in order, maintain insertion order, it will maintain the insertion order. Allow duplicates, indexes we can achieve like this 0 1 2 3 4 that way. So sequence of the item where order or modification is needed means huge case means when we are going to use suppose required like a sequence of the item where order or modification are needed. Suppose I have a created list and sometime we need to update the order, or we need to update the list details, all the things, so we can use the list on there. Like this you can see the fruit apple banana cherry, and when we fruits dot append dot orange, I want to add the append the orange. This way you can see the output in tuple. What is the tuple? So or tuple is nothing but ordered immutable sequence. Order and immutable sequence of elements means immutable means we cannot change after creation of the tuple. Immutable cannot be changed after creation. Order means maintain the insertion order, allow duplicates, indexes, and fix a sequence where values shouldn't change. Point. So another part is tuple. Tuple means ordered. It is ordered collection, but in mutable sequence of elements. We cannot edit, modify, delete anything from the tuples. So this is the syntax for this way. Immutable means cannot be changed after creation. Order maintain insertion order, allow duplicates in indexes. The indexes we can achieve through the this way like tuple 0, like same way as the list. Fixed sequence where values shouldn't be changed. Use case means when where we are used to use this fixed sequence where values shouldn't be changed. So we can see that this is the example, and you can see the this is the things how can we achieve the things. So now dictionary part is nothing but a key value pair with a unique keys. So the syntax for this is the syntax for this. Mutable means we can change value or add or remove item on there. In means we can do the things. Order means in Python 3.7 plus maintain insertion order. Key must be unique. Value can be duplicate. Key should be unique, but value should be duplicate. Keys must be unique and value should be duplicate. Key based. This is the key based. When it is required, mapping a unique key to values. If I want to use the mapping, so then we are going for the dictionary result. So like see that example: person, name, alias, age, and 25. Person, city, Newark, and person you have to give the name person. What is the set? Set is nothing but a unordered collection of unique elements. Unordered collection of unique elements. This is mutable, can add or remove element, can add remove element. Unordered does not maintain any order, does not maintain any order. Does not allow the duplications, it does not allow the duplication. And no indexing, use loop or check membership. We don't have indexing. You through the loop and check membership we can achieve the details. And another thing is unique collections means huge case unique collection with a fast membership testing. So this is the example. You can see that first is a set, then I'm going to add one more value, then print. It will give the this way. So list or tuple are ordered collection of the item. List are mutable and while tuple are immutable. Dictionary map unique keys to value and are immutable. Sets contain unique unordered element and useful for removing duplicate or checking membership. This is the thing. Now another question he asked, if you want to replace a special character in a Python, how would you do? So simply I told there is a function. First is replace, then str dot replace, then str dot sub. Through that we can achieve this functionality. So suppose I have a text like a hello world. I want to replace comma and space empty string. So how can I do? Simply I do new text equal to text dot replace comma equal to simple this way. If I'm going to print, you can see that this is the my output. Another question, resub for multiple or pattern based replacement. Suppose I have a multiple spaces, multiple comma, a multiple special characters. So how can we achieve this functionality? So firstly, simply I import the re, then the text, whatever text value is there, hello word 0 this 2, and then we'll replace this new text dot re dot sub. I will give the r in bracket. I will provide the value like small small letter, capital letter, and numeric details. Then I will give this way, and then I will pass the text whatever the variable I have where I have stored the all the data. Then I'm going to use the print this, then it will give the this way it will give the output on there. So another question he asked, another way, so simply I have specific multiple specific character, so like this, so special character like this and this I have to define from my side, and I will run the loop without any using specific function like sub other things. So how can I will run the loop for char in special character whatever is there. If it is there, then replace with char with space, and then you will get the see how can we do the things. So suppose one question he asked in Python, you have the amount column, in that you have different characters. Suppose you have a table or anything, you have a column that contain the amount detail, and amount detail contain the special character like this in middle or somewhere other place. So how will you replace the integer in middle or some other place? How will you reduce the integer? So simply import, I will use the import function. First to regular expressions read as sub. How can I achieve the things? Then we'll go for that. So amount, this is the amount column that contain the special character. Then I will create a one variable that contain the cleaned amount. Read dot sub r. I will provide the this detail. I want to keep only 0 to 9 detail, and then amount is this one. Then you can see the this is the output. If I can use the rest comparison with a str the each digit. I want to check. I want to take only each digit. Means number is their value in the particular amount column. I want to pick only that. So cleaned amount. This is the clean amount. Then what I have to do, I have created using the join function. In join function, what I can do, I will create a list comparison. So it's char for char in amount. If I will run the one loop. That loop contain the char, means whatever the character is there, I'm calling one by one. If char, then I will apply the one condition. If condition, if char is digit, then it return the char in outside, and I will concat with the one by one. So it will give the output like this. Then another things, I can use a Spark. Either I can use a Panda through this one. Suppose I'm doing through the Panda this one. Import pandas.df as PD, and I have a data like amount. These are the column in amount I have. So I have created a data frame on top of that and display the data frame. You can see that this is the data frame. Then I have to I have to do the cleanup of the like a special character from the amount. So what I have to do, df.amount clean equal to df.amount.str.replace. I will call the same thing whatever I have used in above, and give an regular expression. I have to give the true, and then I have to print. So now you can see that amount is this, old amount is this, new amount is this. So these are the question they have asked in Virtusa second round, and I got a positive feedback from there. I have given the answer. It was cleared, but I have not joined that company. So I hope this question is find you well. And I'm requesting you, please like, subscribe my channel. Thank you very much for watching. Keep like, keep subscribe, and keep share my videos. Thank you very much.